In all the time that I've been riding, I've often heard people say that hardtails make you a better rider.
Anna, hardtails definitely make you a better rider, without a doubt.
Yeah, you need to ride a hardtail because it gives you every single skill that you need.
They teach you line choice, being smooth, you know, just being a better rider all round, technique.
Riding a full sus is like you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
If the other guys say anything different, they're wrong, they're idiots. Fact.
So I'm going to commit to riding the Scout for a whole month and put that to the test and see if hardtails really do make you a better rider. So a hardtail is exactly what it says on the tin. No rear suspension, so it's firm in the rear. It has a much more direct feel. It's harder to ride. You need to be more precise and more picky with your line choice. The saying goes that a full suspension deadens the trails and is easier to ride, therefore it doesn't make you a better rider. The counter argument is that a full suspension is forgiving and confidence inspiring. And if you're less scared and more inclined to get out of your comfort zone, then maybe you can progress even further. I feel like I've personally become a better rider since riding bigger full suspension bikes, but I'm going to commit to riding this Scout for a month to see if the phrase is correct and hardtail will make me a better rider. So this is my Nukeproof Mega. I'm pretty comfortable on this bike already, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride it down the trail, I'm going to time it, and then I'm going to ride the Scout. I'm going to time that just out of curiosity, but the test is for me to ride this solidly, no other bike, no full suspension for 4 weeks, and then come back and test myself back on the Mega and see if I'm a faster rider. This will actually be my first ever ride on this Scout, so of course I expect my times to improve on the Scout, but that's not the test. I want to know if my times improve back on the Mega in a month's time. Oh, I love this bike. Corners. No problems at all. And the rooty section. Ooh. Still rough. No problem. And that post. Done. Oof. Oh, already rougher. Oh, that's to be expected. Oh God, a root. Ah! Oh, it's harder landing after the jumps. Oh my days, that's rough. Almost missed the next corner. Here come the roots. Oh, yeah. Terrible. Stuck. Oh my days. Oh, that's rough. Oh my God, I can feel everything. Oh my God. Oh God, that hurts. And post. Wow, riding the hardtail is actually really different. My back wheel kept getting bounced over roots and offline, and I lost my composure quite a lot. But this video is not about comparing the two bikes. The test starts now, where I ride the Scout, say goodbye to the Mega. Oh, I'm gonna miss him. So it's exactly a week in on the Scout, and I've got to say I went for a little ride after day one with Rich after work, and when I got home I had to have a little nap because I was absolutely exhausted. I think I'm just having to work the bike a lot more just to keep it online because it gets kind of bounced around a lot. And also I think going back to 650B after a long time on 29ers is quite rough. And the first thing I'm noticing is that fork setup really matters on hardtail. And I kind of tried to save a little bit of money by using some used forks that we had in our workshop. I was being realistic with the build really, and actually they need a bit of love, so I've just booked myself into TF Tuned and we're going to go and give these puppies a makeover and see if it makes the world of difference to riding. So it's week 2 now and I've just got the forks back from TF Tuned and they feel amazing. It feels like a completely different bike. They did really need a service. The lower leg oil had been contaminated with possibly water and the crush washers were completely crushed. So, you know, they probably let some water in and yeah, there was a few other things wrong with it and it really needed a service. So yeah, hardtails, when you've only got one form of suspension, you really notice when they're bad. And I got some tips from TF Tuned as well, who said that I was possibly setting my hardtail up like full sus, like I usually do, which is fair comment, where I like it quite soft in the initial stroke and then it just sort of ramps up to sort of keep me not too far into the mid-stroke or bottoming out. So I put some spacers in there and I ran it quite soft, and they were like, well, hardtail, your fulcrum's at the back. When you hit the brakes or hit anything, the fulcrum forces you to sort of dive at the front. So generally people run more air and less tokens to get that sort of soft feeling, but with the geometry still maintained because the pressure will keep the front end up. So I'm just trying that out for the rest of the week and we'll see how it goes. And so far I'm starting to feel normal on it. Not everything hurts anymore. I don't need to have a nap anymore after riding it anyway, so that's a good thing. More to come. So I'm in my final week of riding the hardtail and I really think we've started to gel. I've kind of stopped thinking that I'm being disadvantaged on the hardtail and kind of riding it faster and harder. And so much so that I've decided to enter a race. And that's why I'm in a tent right now, as it's pouring with rain. I'm here in the north of UK with some truly northern weather at Ardrock. And if a race in the wet doesn't give me a final boost of skills on a hardtail, don't know what else will. Well, it's stopped raining, but Ardrock doesn't get its name without being full of hard rocks. So going to be interested in racing the hardtail today. And I didn't get to practice yesterday, so I was too late to register. So we're racing all 7 stages, completely blind. I can't wait. Oh, I've got jelly legs already. Oh my god. Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh, that's not good. Oh dear. Oh my god, I can't feel my fingers. Fear of puncture is real. Whoa. I can't hold on anymore. Oh my god, I can't hold on. Right, I'm 2 stages in and I just can't hold on to the bars. They're like 3 minutes long. I'm losing hand strength, which means all of my braking's like on and off. And every single rock just seems to be slowing me down, but it's a lot of fun. Oh, my ankles. Oh, my legs are cooked. I can't pedal anymore. Oh my days. My God, that was over. Everything hurts. On stage one, there was a man that said, "You won't race the hardtail again if you come back." And I think he's right. That was just exhausting. My entire body hurts right now. But it's the final week, and in a couple of days, we do the test to see if this made me a better rider or not. Bring on the test.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Hardtail winners!
So we're back here at Campos Cycle Centre in the Forest of Dean to do another test run on the Hardtail and then on the Full Sus Mega. And it's been interesting riding it for a month. I do feel like a slower rider. It's a very harsh ride, which is obvious, but it's taken so much more strength to ride it fast downhill. And that's why I feel like I'm slower, because I just don't have the strength for it. But maybe that's helped me be a better rider. I guess the test is to see whether all that strength that I've built up and all that skill that I've built up on this bike over the month has made me a better rider on the Mega. So I guess it's time to get going. Let's see if it's made me a better rider. Oh, hardtail hands. This is it. Am I faster on the Mega a month later? Time to find out. Oh my days, it's so much nicer corner. And I can pump again. Oh, it just feels buttery smooth. Oh, squishy though. I can just push the back end down and keep my traction. And boom! Yeah! Woo! Oh, that was a bit wild, Anna. Yeah, done and done. Time to head back to the studio and see if I was quicker. So it's results time at the moment you've all been waiting for. And just before I say this, I just want to say thank you for watching. And if you don't subscribe to us already, then do hit that subscribe button so you can see more content like this in the future. And if you're one of our regulars, then do give us a like and a thumbs up so that we can continue doing these entertaining videos for you. But the moment of truth is, well, let's just look at the hardtail times for now. First off, day one, the first day I'd ridden it, obviously going to be a little bit slow and rusty on a new bike. It was 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And by day 30, the end of the month of riding it, it was 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So, you know, it's no surprise that I was quicker. I think 13 seconds faster on a 2.5–3 minute track is pretty cool. And it's just a nice reminder that practice makes improvements. If you're not good at something in the outset, then, you know, keep going and it always gets better. But the point of the video is to see if I'm a better rider overall. So I chose to do this by looking at my full sus times, my usual bike. So day 1, my full sus time was 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but that's 5 seconds faster than the hardtail at the end of the month. I think that's really interesting that the times are so close once I'd started to get acquainted with the hardtail. But the most interesting time is day 30 of riding the full sus after a month of the hardtail. It was 2 minutes and 34 seconds, a whopping 1 second faster. Now, okay, so 1 second is pretty negligible. You know, we can break that down to a tiny mistake, or maybe feeling a little more tired, didn't put a pedal stroke in somewhere, who knows, it's not that much, okay. But the interesting thing comes from breaking this descent down. Now, this descent, I've broken it down into the top section and the bottom section because they do have two reasonably different personalities. The top section is very flowy, it's very fast, there's a lot of corners and it's quite smooth. The bottom section is very rough, it doesn't flow so well, it's a bit janky, there's a lot of drop-offs. So, top section, day 1 on the full sus, was 1 minute and 31 seconds. By day 30, it was 1 minute 27 seconds. That's 4 seconds faster. Now, imagine a short enduro stage, someone finishing and then counting 4 seconds before the next person comes past. That's actually quite a lot over a minute and a half track. And even more interesting was the bottom section, the rough one. Day 1 was 1 minute 4 seconds. And by day 30, I was 1 minute and 7 seconds. All my time that I'd made up in the top section, I'd lost by the bottom. I was 3 seconds slower. So, really interesting. I feel like, did the hardtail make me a better rider in the top section? Was I carrying speed better? Was I cornering better? I definitely feel like I'd been weighting the hardtail more in corners to keep traction because I couldn't rely on rear suspension doing that for me. So maybe that did improve me. But in the bottom section, I was kind of right. From the start of the video, I always said that full sus made me more confident. And maybe going back to the hardtail made me more cautious in the rough stuff. So the drop-offs and the tech, I was actually slowing myself down. So it's kind of a debate. Maybe over time, when I trusted the hardtail a bit more and ride it in the tech like I ride my full sus, and I don't try and slow myself down, maybe I would be overall much, much faster. But I think it's debatable, and I think it's really interesting as well. So I don't know, guys, this is debate time. This is up to you. Leave your opinions down in the comments below. Have I become a faster rider? Have I become a worse rider because I'm now cautious? And is the most interesting number the fact that I was only 5 seconds off my full sus time by riding the hardtail for a month? Is that the most interesting number? Join the debate down in the comments below, and hopefully we'll see you again for another feature in the future. Thank you.